Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Joe Daddy's Garage. I'm out of frame right here. Uh, but I'm going to try something different today. You know, I do my regular live streams on Monday night, and I've done in the past, well, a couple weeks ago, a few weeks ago, I did a hands-on live stream back in the back of the shop where I worked on the 68 Mustang, on a quarter panel, block sanding, and stuff like that. Now, I know many of you have been following along for quite some time, and I've been trying to mix it up a little bit by doing stuff like this. As suggested or as seen, I've got, let's see, and this is a little challenging because I have the camera set up here. My laptop is over here, so it's even harder for me to read who's here. But I know Greg's Workshop checked in early, Jerry's Garage, Money Pit from Middle Tennessee, Arthur Woodward, Rick Stevenson, Crash Rider, Troy Justit from Savannah. So I'm glad you're all here. Now, as I talked about, and you've seen in other live streams, this motorcycle has been in the background, and this belongs to a friend of mine. He's over in Afghanistan, and he asked me late last year if I could address some things with this bike, and I said, sure, you know, I'll get to it. Well, as we all know, time catches up to you really quick, and you forget or you don't remember, you know, hey, I've got something else to work on. So, you know, and you know as well, in the past few weeks, I've had a lot on my mind, you know, family stuff and things like that. And I've decided, you know, I need to get done with this bike and get it ready for him when he comes back. So with that in mind, and I say I have 16 people viewing, I don't know how many people are going to show up today. I hope it's a good number. I don't know. But with that in mind, what I need to address is the gas tank, which is going to get painted at a future date, and the seat pan. Okay. I'm going to wait and just see if there's a, hey, oh, we got a first Dave. We got Phil checking in, listening to the Joe Daddy's radio show. Phil, I'm hoping that I can still give you some information here because this is going to be, and I hope you can hear me okay. I have the microphone set up over here. I don't know. This is going to be kind of an interactive live stream to where I'm going to build a seat pan for this Triumph T100. Now, I've messed with fiberglass before, and I don't even have my bell over here. I don't even have the bell. Let me get the bell, just in case. We already had our first day. So there's a bell. Okay. But this bike had been at another shop or some guy's house or something, and he had done some work to it. My friend, he wanted some certain things done, and the guy did it kind of his own way. He didn't do what my friend asked him to do. So he took the bike back. Hey, Rick. He took the bike back from him, and he did some of the work himself. And I've done work for him in the past. If you've looked at the cafe, the little CB Honda cafe we did, I did a bunch of custom work on the back of it. But anyway, he asked me to redo some things. Okay, so I'm going to address some of that. What I have learned, I think I understand. I don't know for sure what all this guy has done, but it looks like he's already lifted the back tube here. You know, it completes the raised portion of like a cafe style bike. But he really did some weird stuff. I'll just say that. This is the seat pan that he made. Let me tell you, this is like, it feels like 5 pounds of steel. This is some thick stuff, and it is, it's not what he wanted. You know, normally a cafe racer, you do a fiberglass pan, but this guy built this, and I think he was confused, or he needed some other ideas, because if you look, and I'm working on a video for this whole thing, but if you look, it's got clip nuts up here, right? Well, the way he had done it was there's an existing bracket on the bike, and it has a couple holes back here. So his vision was to take advantage of those holes, and I can appreciate that. So what he did is he made the seat pan and has this lug on the front, which we're going to talk about that with the next one I make. It slips underneath the gas tank, and then bolts would come up through this bottom plate. Well, the idea for that was my friend wanted a custom little fender on it, right? I don't think this guy really appreciated or understood the idea of how you do this because, again, he took some heavy steel and fabricated this bracket. Okay, and this, I mean, this thing is, again, super heavy. And what he did is he tucked it up under and went through the bolts, the same bolts that were in those holding that pan. That's what's holding everything together. Just two bolts, and it's really it's too heavy. It's the wrong type of fender. It's not even the type of fender my friend wanted. So I was provided another fender that has a slightly different shape. More on that on the video that I'm making. And so I'm going to have to make a custom bracket, hold this, and remedy all of that situation. But that's going to come after I make the seat pan. So let me get this stuff out of the way. And then I'll talk about some other things that are happening. This bike has, with all the modifications, there's some stuff hanging loose behind the side covers. On the other side, there's a master cylinder. There's a fuse box. On this side, there's some modules and stuff. So I'm working on as well, putting in, or I'm going to make some brackets and plates where that stuff can be mounted instead of just floating around in space. So all that right now is just tucked up underneath. So what I've done so far in order to make this seat pan, how far away? Hey, I got your sticker, by the way. Thanks, Rick. But what I've done so far is I wanted to come up with a way to make the seat pan and attach it to the bike, because one of the other concerns, and maybe the guy didn't think about this, I don't know, the battery sits right here. Okay, the battery is right here. My friend has a battery tender rigged up that he can hook to it. But in order to get to that battery, you have to unbolt the back fender, move that great big heavy plate out of the way, and now access the battery. To me, it just doesn't make any sense. So what I'm going to do is make a fiberglass seat pan, a traditional, type of pan. So with that, I want to show you something. Underneath the gas tank, there's a shape that's kind of, well, it's kind of like this, okay? And there's two bolts that hold the gas tank down. Earlier today, I fabricated this. Now this is a piece of 3/4 inch square tubing with this plate welded to it. And the idea is I can slip that underneath the gas tank, and that's going to line up. It fits perfect, by the way. 3/4 inch fits perfect. So I can slip that up under the gas tank, and that takes care of the front mount point for the seat pan. And back here, I added two tabs. I know it's hard to see, but I've added two angle brackets to where I can take wing nuts off, or bolt or nuts, whatever. Once the pan is made, it can be bolted down and unbolted and removed if you need to. And I'm going to design it so that the fender stays in place. It's not going to be part of this bigger assembly. So anyway, the big conflict I have is the shape of this tank and how it transitions into the frame. And I want to show you a picture because I have one I saved that he sent me. So if you look at that seat, that configuration right there, the tank, it actually follows the transition of the tank, and it bulges out over top of these side covers. And when you pull that off here, these side covers right here. Well, the frame is tucked in, but it's out slightly. So I'm going to have a vision for this to take care of that transition. I also am going to, this little bracket is going to get sandwiched into the layers of fiberglass. So I'm going to see if I can pull this off. I've never built one of these before, but I've messed with fiberglass. I've messed with a lot of things. and we're going to see how this goes. So hopefully you get something out of this. I may not be able to communicate much, but we're going to see how it goes. So let me get this stuff out of the way, and I'm just going to start working on it. And I know from what I've seen others do, they take masking tape and they'll mask off the areas that they don't want it to get covered. And also, they will use plastic to mask off the bike. So this may be a little tedious, just saying, because it's the way it is. You got to build these things, right? So, and this is just to give a foundation for the seat. I'm trying not to rush through it, but I want to go over, how I'm doing this, because it might be interesting. If I had somebody else here, I could answer questions, but I don't. I know I could have done all this ahead of time, right? But then you wouldn't get to see all this. I have to be careful over top of this the tank here, or where the bracket is. I have to leave an opening for my bracket that I'm going to incorporate. So there's the basics, right? Now, what I'm going to have to do is add, or I'm going to add, some foil tape. Now this tape is your normal, what's the word? Multi-purpose, whatever, tape. The thin foil stuff. So I'm going to add some of that. Just because. Hopefully I can make this work. Now the reason I'm doing this is it's something that is not going to stick so much. I guess I didn't realize it had paper on top. Because you really don't want the fiberglass sticking to anything, right? I should have probably already had this done, now that I think about it. But hey, what else are you going to do on a Thursday afternoon? I know Phil's like, what's going on? Phil can't, all he hears is probably some paper rattling around and doesn't know what I'm doing or can't see what I'm doing. So sorry, Phil. I'm trying. What else we got going on? Anybody else bored yet? So March is commenting to far away about his videos, which I've commented before. He makes some really great how-to videos for painting. Give him lots of credit for that. So if you haven't seen his stuff, go check it out. I know, boring, right? Sorry. I should have had this set up before I ever started. But that's how you learn. That's how you learn about these things. Almost there. Brick. Yeah, it's not all glory. That's right. You know, all you normally see on these type of videos is a time lapse. You're like, gosh, how did he do that so fast? He didn't. It would have taken him days to do this. Okay, so I have to test fit some things. Make sure that little bracket that I made is going to fit up under the back, or up under the tank, I should say. Hey, Bad Harry. Yeah, you saw the hats. Yep. I did get my hats in. So I ended up with 8 variations of my hats. Okay. Now, I was talking earlier about the transition from the seat to the tank. And I was concerned, I wanted to stick out over, these little side covers a bit. I want it to be noticed that it transitions into the tank. So what I've done, I have done something ahead of time. I preformed some cardboard pieces. And the way these are going to work, they're going to sandwich on either side of the tank, and they're going to make the shape. Crash Rider. I don't know about it on the tank. That's a good question. But what I want to do is take these 2 pieces. I know it's probably hard to see, but I want to attach these, and these are going to act as my guide for the seat, because you already have a raised portion for the mounts on this gas tank. So I want to get over that. I want to try to make it kind of blend into the tank. So I have not experimented with this yet. I'm kind of winging it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of winging it through this, because how else are you going to do it? And remember, you're going to make this seat, it's going to be oversized. What I'm trying to make is bigger than what I'm actually going to end up with. So I have to consider that as I'm moving forward through the steps, that I'm not going to make it exactly the size that it was intended. And that will make a kind of a bridge over top of that tank. And just tell me if this isn't a good angle. I can move the camera slightly if it'll help. I really want people to get something out of this. if possible. If possible. So what I want to do is kind of tuck in to get the curve on those pieces of cardboard as consistent as I can. So that it's going to have a kind of a radius going forward and matches the tank. So you make sure this fits. What else is going on? So Harry, if you're interested in a hat, let me know. If anybody's interested in a hat, they can send me an email and we can discuss it. The thing is, as I've mentioned before, I'm not allowed to sell my hats, but I can offer them in exchange for a donation. That's looking better already. I need some music playing in the background, right? If I could, I would. I don't know what I'd play though. Oh, by the way, woke up this morning and it was 40 degrees outside on April 1st. That's just a little too cold for April. I don't know why. And it's supposed to go down to like 36, I think, over the next couple days, which is just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know what the weather's doing otherwise, but that's what we're dealing with right now here in Georgia. And there's some background music. Compressor. Okay. Isn't that exciting? Look at that. Easy Rider would be good. Easy Rider would be good music. Snowed hard for about an hour. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Okay. I'm liking that. That's actually feeling like it makes sense. Just so you know, that foil takes sharp enough to cut you. Okay. Now here's an even more exciting thing that has to happen. More exciting. You have to cover this up. You got to cover the whole bike up. I'm glad I still have 21 people watching because I know this is boring as can be, right? Boring as can be. But it's the truth. This is how it works. You know? Everything takes time. If I had a good joke, I'd tell you a good joke, but I don't have any good jokes. Maybe this wasn't the best idea. But I'm still doing it. Good grief. How big is this plastic? I need a wide angle camera. Okay. That's better. Oh, Harry says, I'm taking it in. I've never worked with fiberglass before. An airline mechanic and body man. I gotta get a razor blade. So the idea at this point is to mask off the areas that I'm not wanting to get fiberglass on, right? So I'm just gonna make a cut, hopefully. Now you know why they do all this in time lapse. That's why they do it in time lapse, because it's a long time. Now some of this may be overkill, you know. I'm glad y'all are here. I really am. I see you have some good comments going on. Jorge, checking in. Good. Rick Stevens and I can watch people work all day. Well, you know, I could have started this a lot earlier. Could have. But 3 o'clock is my start time. And Dan might even show up. I don't know. On the chat. I don't know. What I'm doing here is, you know, again, adding this foil. And then we're going to do one more step before I get to the fiberglass stuff. Because you could still, I watched some other guy do it, and I thought it was a good idea, so why not? I'm going to do it too. What he did was he added a coat of wax to the top of the foil. And what that did is it really kept it from bonding to anything. Because I've seen other people do it where they just put plastic on, and then they ended up with plastic stuck in their fiberglass. You don't want plastic stuck in your fiberglass, do you? That's looking pretty good, I think. Now you can get an idea of what it is supposed to look like. At least the seat part itself. Now, I'm only going to build the pan. I'm not covering it or anything like that. Okay, so we'll pull this back out. And again, the idea with this is some turtle wax. Okay, so I'm going to take some turtle wax. Bet Harry, you think it's boring to watch this. It is educational. I saw a YouTube video that over 1.7 people watched a girl drive a tractor. Really? Okay. So what I'm going to do at this point, try not to make too bad of a mess. Yeah, I'll put a glove on for this, just because I got the glove sitting here. But the idea again is that you coat this. You probably use a little pad. So it's basically a mold release at this point. Once you have put this stuff on. Because the fiberglass will just sit on top of it. Oh, that was easy enough. Sweet. I don't know if I'll ever use this turtle wax again. Quick, buy it now. Euclid, you look like the type to take on Tim and Richard's challenges. You know, that's what I want to do. Yeah, Crash Rider. No, I'm not doing that. Okay. So, let me get some of this trash out of the way. Now, ideally, what I want to do is lay fiberglass on top of this, right? And I want to do just shredded pieces. Like I've got a piece here that I've had around for various other patches. In fact, if you look back, years ago, I fixed a little trailer for a buddy of mine. They punched a hole in the back of his, just a little 4x4 fiberglass trailer. And this is what I used, some of this mat. Now this is, this is just rough fiberglass mat. This is not, I mean, you could pull this apart with your hands pretty easily. And then the other type of fiberglass is, I'll just show you a piece. Now this is some stuff I've had around for years. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a little dirty from weathering. This is the woven stuff, much tougher. So what I want to do is take, I bet here you say, why aluminum tape? Well, it's just something that'll hold up to when I put the fiberglass on. I mean, I could have left the green tape probably, but the green tape, I don't know how well it would hold up to the wax. So the foil tape, it's not going anywhere. What I'm probably going to do is incorporate some of this woven stuff into the seat. Like I'm going to do probably 3 or 4 or 4 or 5 layers of material. So I want to start with, and this can be, you can be pretty random with this, honestly. If I just took and cut this roughly the size, because it's not, it doesn't matter. It's not like it's critical that it's cut to the exact size that you need. So all I want to do is make sure I've got overhang on the sides, and then I can add pieces later. It's nothing's going to go to, nothing's really going to matter at that point. So I'm going to take that. I'll probably have this. I'll even take the pieces I cut off and put into it. So I may take this piece and make the piece up front here. I doubt 1.7 million people are going to watch me playing with fiberglass. So that'll work there. And then what I'll have besides that is a whole nother package of the fiberglass mat. So it's going to get multiple layers of this stuff going forward. Anyway, so I can be proactive and cut this into pieces, strips and whatnot, so I could layer it on top. Okay, so that's good. I can copy that if I want, take the same piece, get something close. That's the beauty of this, though. It doesn't have to be a perfect template. It's going to get trimmed down anyway later. Now I can take these small pieces and make pillars out of that. All right. And like I said, I'll incorporate the woven stuff as well to give it more strength. Get that out of the way. Now, this is more of the hard part. And I say that because when you're working with these resins, you got to mix it. You got to mix it. Now, some say, mix by weight. Some say mix by volume. You don't want to mix too much. If you try to mix this whole container all in one shot, you'll never get it on before it hardens up. This thing will smoke and you'll be done. You'll waste your whole can of resin. So this is fiberglass Bondo resin, or Bondo fiberglass resin, and it is 0.9 pint. 0.9 pint. Now, the difficulty with that is you're going, well, what's the ratio here, right? So it says working life of mixed resin is approximately 8 to 12 minutes at 75 degrees. It is about 69, 70 degrees in here. Mix in small amounts, mix in large amounts will reduce the working time of the mixed resin. Never mix hardener in the resin can. Duh. So let me see what the ratio is, because it tells you 1 ounce of resin with 10 drops of hardener, or 6 tablespoons of resin with 1/4 teaspoon of hardener. I'm not that good. But I can tell you this. I can probably go to a certain ounce level on this container that I bought. So if it says 1 ounce of resin to 10 drops of hardener. So let's just say I wanted to go to 4 ounces, which may be an okay start point. I don't know yet. But I could do 4 and 40 drops of hardener. I know, you're sitting here counting, right? That's boring. Well, it's going to be boring. But I might go to, if I go to 8, I don't know how far 4 ounces is going to go. 8 ounces, 8 to 12 minutes mix time. How about if I go 6 ounces? Let's see how that works. Let me see if I can, I don't know if I'm in frame here. Hopefully this is still good. I don't even know if it's still good stuff. Well, it's pouring. So I'm going to go under 6 ounces. And according to that, it said, if I can do the math again, for 1 ounce of resin is 10 drops of hardener. 1 ounce, 10 drops. I need a calculator. Yeah, resin is smelly. Bet, Harry, you need a lower cut shirt to get 1 million views. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So 1 ounce is 10 drops. So 6 ounces is 60 drops. Oh God. I need a beer system. So let me see if I have. Yeah, I'm gonna make some stick here. So 1 ounce is 10. I'm gonna need 60 drops of resin. Oh gosh. Assuming this container's gonna open. I hear it cracking as I'm moving stuff around. I haven't had this open in, oh, there it goes. Hopefully I can get this to work. Maybe? How many was that? There's 20. 30. 40. 50. There's 60. We made it. Okay. I know. So what I'm going to do is mix this up, and then I'm going to use a chip brush to spread it on top of the fiberglass. So let me get this mixed. I still hope this stuff is okay, because I've had this around for a while. But it obviously poured, and whoo, pretty strong stuff. If this doesn't work, you'll be the first to know. Okay. Here we go. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to dump this whole thing on here to make it soak in. Normally what I would do is take a piece of aluminum foil and soak it on the table and make sure it had plenty of resin in the foil or on top of it. So this is a little bit different approach. Hopefully this works. We'll find out one way or another. I know what I need to do. I'm gonna have to get this in place. Didn't think about that. Why don't you remind me? Should have said, hey, what about that thing? I have a feeling I'm going to mix up the rest of that resin pretty quick. So 8 ounces or 6 ounces was not enough. Just saying. But it's working. It's getting there. So at this point, I should probably just mix up whatever was in this can, honestly. But are we having fun? Anybody timing this so we know how fast it's going to cure on me before I get done? Nice part is I have a whole nother can ready to go. And I have more containers to mix in. And this is why you cover the whole bike in plastic as well. In case you haven't figured it out yet. Actually, let's hope this stuff cures, because that would be really bad if it didn't. And I should point out, you should probably have some ventilation. Just saying. Yes. Seems to be working though. What I'll probably do is put on this first round of this double layer I have, and then I'll let that cure. And because it's starting to thicken up in the cup. Probably let that cure and then add on more layers as I go forward. That's not cool. Something caught in that. Woo! It's close. Definitely close. It's almost fully gummed up in the cup here. I'm just going to spread this on because it's there. It may take a little longer than 8 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. Temperature, you know, the stuff has an effect on it, obviously. Okay. I'm gonna let that sit. Quit messing with it, right? That's the hardest part. Stop messing with it. Anyway. Whew. I may finally have to throw this shirt away. I've got some resin in my sleeve. Man. Like I said, I hope this stuff cures because it's been sitting on the shelf for a while, and it may or may not be bad. Ugh. You can open the door. Get some air in here. Okay. Anybody still there? Everybody abandoned me. I think I did pretty good. I think it's going to end up being fine. Feels like it's starting to tack up better in the container. So I'm assuming I'm still on. I don't know. Anybody still there? I'm not getting any responses. Okay, crash rider. Okay. Even though you took your shirt off, you're still not getting 1 million views. No, I'm not. Okay, crash rider. Okay. All right, good. I mean, there's more to do. And again, I really hope this cures. You know, it's hard to say because the can normally they don't expire in a short period of time, but it definitely has some issues. Okay, John, thanks. Yeah, wash hands. Yeah, I'm probably have to wash my hands with. Well, I think they're good actually. I don't feel any. I don't think I got any residue on my hands, but if I did, I'd probably have lacquer thinner and be washing it off. But let me pause for a moment because I have coffee over my coffee warmer that March Indy provided for me, so I still have some hot coffee. Thank you, March Indy. So, probably be it. Not much else. I don't know what else we can talk about, but 27 viewers. That was an hour long. I was surprised it was that long. But anyway, I need to finish this. Work on those plates inside to hold the components underneath the seat. Of course, it's going to get the tank painted, and I need to add at least another layer of material on top of this. So I think that'll be it. Yeah, it works okay, Mark Cindy. It does. Well, how long to cure? It depends on temperature. It's supposed to be. I mean, it says you have like 10 to 12 minutes of working time. I don't know how long I was actually working on it. It feels like it was longer than that. I can't tell for sure. I know I have some issues right here where it's separated, but it's trying to show air bubbles underneath. We want to avoid air bubbles. I mean, it feels like it's doing something, but it should be, honestly, if it was a time limit, it should be hard by now. It should not be still pliable. And it still feels like it's pliable. So I may have done all this for naught. I don't know yet. I'm really hoping it cures. I could probably get out a heat gun and add some heat to it to see if that would help. But I don't know. If I had it out in the sun, it would probably help a lot. But just making sure I got some of these air bubbles out of here. You want to have all the fiberglass contacting the fiberglass. You don't want a space in between. And again, this is just a seat pan. It's not like it's a structural piece like an airplane, but you still want it to work correctly. So I'm not going to be able to do much more today. Well, I hope you got something out of it. So while we're here, while we're not doing anything important, just to show you, I finally did get my hats. So look at that. I've got 8 different versions of this. So I have this tan, this like grayish tan looking thing, green, blue and white trucker's cap. I have several others. I actually like this one. This one's starting to grow on me. This trucker's cap with the gray and black. I like it. And look at that. I got camo. I had to get a camo one. And then, other than that, I have solid blue, and then I have blue with white trucker's cap. These are nice hats. These are better than the first ones I had. But anyway, yeah. I'm gonna wrap it up. Again, thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of it. At least maybe you were entertained for the last hour watching me do some silly stuff with this fiberglass. And I am working on a video. I don't know if I'll be able to get it out tomorrow or not. I do want to make, well, I need to finish this, I guess, because I can't work on those brackets until I have the seat finished. So I know where everything is going to fit. But anyway, yeah, Ben Harry, happy Easter as well. And that's going to be it. So, oh, just to give you some, I don't know if I showed you this picture or not. You know, this is what the bike is supposed to look like. This highlight shows the transition of the seat. And what I was talking about earlier, making it kind of go up towards the tank. And then this is another shot. So hopefully it all works out. But anyway, that's going to be it. I'll be back on Monday night at 7, and we'll see how things go from there. So thank you all for being here. And until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.